Hello everybody, David Lemon here with another video Today we will be exploring how to create a membership site using GroovePages. Not everybody needs a complex membership site. Somebody just needs to deliver the content to the end customer, and this could be done easily with creating a couple of pages inside GroovePages, and it is pretty simple. So today we are going to go through exactly how to do it. I will show you one example of what you can do with it, but this is just up to your imagination and your creativity, what you want to do with it. So yeah, I actually want to let you know that this is not something out of the ordinary. A lot of people are doing that, and you may not even think about it. For example, there is a big person in the marketing industry, and he's selling thousands and even millions of dollars of his courses, and he's doing this exact thing. What he and I will mention it later on who that is, but what people are doing is they don't need all the functions of a membership site. They just need a page where they put their content and deliver it. The delivery can be done automatically, or basically when somebody signs up, immediately they're redirected to that page. Or if you want, you can also deliver it using email. So you can set up an email sequence which will send out the pages so separately, so there will be no hub where you can go in and then click through all the modules and all the chapters and things like this of your course, for example, or your membership. But you just want to actually set up pages and then have them separately sent out to the customer to be able to either learn from your course or to actually download your resources and things like this. So this is what we are creating today. We will be setting up a simple membership site, and this will be done using GroovePages. GroovePages is a simple platform to use in case you have tested it out yet. Let me just close Skype so that we are not bothered. Yeah, and this can be done now already. Membership sites using GrooveMember will be able to be created. We're just still working on it. It's not even in the alpha version yet. We released it a couple of weeks ago, and there are a lot of updates needed to be done in order to function as you would like them to do. But at this moment, just a simple GroovePages page would work well with you. So let me just show you what is. So there are no issues with GrooveMember. There are issues, Demetrius, and this is well known. We have a couple of issues that are being ironed out. There should have been an update deployed last week, but there was some snafu with the servers, and this is being fixed. As soon as it is done, we will be deploying the updates and the bug fixes. But for now, let me just show you what we will be working on today. So I will show you how to create a couple of pages, and these couple of pages will be looking like this. As I said, this is up to your creativity and imagination, how you would like it to look like, but this is something that I created. So a simple navigation bar with a dashboard and resources buttons, and there is just a headline, like a short introduction in this is our dashboard page. And then there is a little video. Then we have a navigation that will guide us through different chapters and different like parts of the membership. For example, this is an introduction, and then you can hover over it and then go into the modules and things like this. So this is just a test. I just created it very quickly without any content. Most of the buttons are not even working. I just created this one button that goes to a module, but this can be duplicated, copied, cloned, and you can just create whatever you would like with it. So let's just go into this module and see how it looks like. Okay, so when we actually, let's refresh the page. When we go into it, it looks like this. So it says module 1. It's basically the same header, the same navigation, the same explanation. You can change images, change the text over here for the explanation of the module 1. And then you have a little bit of text description about the video. You have a video in case you want to have videos, and then a little bit more text. You can put in buttons and all kinds of things to download guides. You can also put in the transcriptions and things like that in case you want. It's pretty simple, and you can see how easy it is to create it. So membership sites are created for delivering content from you to the end user, to be able to educate them, to be able to provide them the details, to actually give them the things that you sold them on. Okay, and this is very simple to create inside GroovePages as well. We also created the resources page, which is something like this. It doesn't have to be complex. You can also do with images. You can do it with icons. You can do it any other way you want. I just kept it simple and wrote the title of the document. I just called it step-by-step guide, and you can put download buttons below it in order for your users to be able to download it. It's pretty simple. So let's just go back and have a look at what the page consists of. So this is a pre-made block for navigation. This is a pre-made block of title. This is a video element. These are some text links. And then over here, the container is white, but I just put in a title with a paragraph. Then over here, title with a paragraph and a button in this small container. So as you can see, everything that you see on this page is super simple. There is no complexity to it whatsoever. And I knew somebody will ask this one. Demetrius is asking, yeah, but how do you lock that page? So this is why I wanted to say that you don't need to actually lock it. In case you name your pages, for example, have a look at this one. The URL of the page I gave is just a jumbled mess of letters, numbers, and people will not figure it out. In case you actually use a proper somehow sequences of letters and numbers, people will think that this is auto-generated. And once you send them out the email, here is the module number 1. They click on it. They don't even look at the URL. They can look at from a phone. They can look at it from a desktop. Of course, there are people that will try and guess the next pages. But in case you don't click them in order to go to the next module, in case you don't have a dashboard like this, in case you just have a resources page, and then the module pages or the content pages, and you send them out in emails, it doesn't matter in case you lock it, because people will think that the URL was auto-generated. And people are selling millions of their products with this one, even without membership sites. Let me just find the name. I forgot the name of this person that I heard that he is selling, and he's big in this world. And I know that he wrote the high performance. Brendon Burchard, High Performance Habits. Yeah, this is a book I read. Brendon Burchard created most of his membership sites and most of his websites where he delivers content this way, that he doesn't actually have a membership platform, but he just created pages, put on the content on the pages, and then send them out in an email. So he didn't have any issues with this one. So a lot of users are actually doing that. So you don't need all the complexities of the secure login and password and things like this. In case you want to get started and get moving, this is something that you can do already. So yeah, there are people like, for example, Demetrius, that may want to put all their content behind the login. This is going to be GrooveMember, but at this moment it is not ready yet for prime time and basically the prime time action. So this is something you can start with. So I believe I ranted enough. We have a good crew over here. This video was unexpected, and I created it last minute because the normal time for our live streams will be taken over by the founders, and they will be revealing an awesome thing for you guys. So don't forget to come. It is 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or my time is 6 p.m. Central European time, so don't forget to come on that one. This will be awesome. But for now, this unexpected training I just wanted to share with you. There was a member previously in the Facebook community, and she asked me of how to do memberships without the actual membership platform. So this is something that I wanted to share with you today. So we're starting with a blank site, and I do suggest, in case you create membership sites like this, you'd create it from scratch. You can also put it on subdomains, or just leave it on GroovePages domains, or purchase another separate domain for delivering content like that, so that your normal website or a funnel where you're actually selling the access to this one is not connected with this in any way. You actually don't want people to start guessing what could be the page number or the page name. So let's start by creating the dashboard first. Once we create a dashboard like this, we can just copy over different elements and then put them on the resources pages, and we can use the elements from here to actually go to the modules pages, to the actual content pages. So let's just start out by doing this. We'll be following this exact guide. So we'll put in a navigation bar over here. So we go to blocks, we go to wireframes, navigation bars, and then I just took this one with the logo and the text links on the right hand side. Okay, here we go. So we'll just leave it like that. Then the next thing we need is some sort of a cover or a title block, which we can explain a little bit what this page is about. So we can go into the titles and have a look. So it was not titles, I believe I used just the content. Yeah, so here in the content we have this block with headline, heading, and then subheading over here. This one, as you can see, it's the same. And then over here, this is where I started doing things from scratch. So these first two blocks and also the footer at the bottom is pre-made, but everything else we'll just need to create ourselves because we don't have blocks that look like that. So let's just do this. So what we will do is actually put this in some kind of a red background, maybe this one, just so that we see the differentiation, the separation of the next blocks over here. So what I will do is I will click on wireframes, empty, and I will just pull in an empty container here below this red block, and this empty container will be where I will be storing my video. So I'll click on the elements and pull in a YouTube video. So this is where you will be placing your videos which you have uploaded either to Groove Video or to YouTube, Vimeo, whatever you prefer. Okay, so I'll just resize the video a little bit, maybe 66.66. That's looking nice. And then in the layout, we can start managing the content how we want it to be on the page. So as you can see, there is a little bit of space, so we can just space it out like that. But if we have a look now, the whole block moved, and I don't want to move the whole block. So let's just move it back as it was. There we go. So I'll click on the actual block. I'll just click outside until I have the block selected over here. And then I can just space it out using the padding because I want the lines of the block to stay next to the previous one. So something like 3 rem would work nicely with this. Okay. So now we have first block done, second block done. We have the video done. Below the video, I would like to add on some navigation. So in case somebody wants to jump into the sections below, for example, getting professional, it will scroll down all the way till this section. So this is something that I would like to do. So we'll just add an empty container and put in our links. So blocks, wireframes, empty, like that, just below the video. And I will click on this empty container and I will click on the layout, make it centered here and here, okay, so that it is centered this way and this way. That's the only thing I will do here. The next thing is I will pull in text links. Okay, so once I set up my text links, for example, to say, I don't know, dashboard. This is set up here. I just forgot. Dashboard. Okay, we will be able to link it later on to dashboard. We'll just or actually not, we want to link sections. So we can set up home to scroll up all the way to the top, and then we can duplicate it and just create a little bit of space between, maybe this way. Okay, and then we can add the first link, which is introduction. Okay, this way. Then we duplicate it. Then we can name this getting started, and basically how you want to name your content, these containers. So what we are doing now is putting links in for each of these sections over here. As you can see, getting professional, diving in, so on. This is just something I came up with um, from my head, just very quickly. I created this site, which I showed you, with all the pages and the resources and the buttons and everything within half an hour. So this is, in case you know what you're doing, in case you follow this step by step as I'm showing it, you can finish this very quickly. I will be going a little bit slower so that you can follow it, but this can be done pretty fast. In case you just want to not think about a lot, oh my god, people will steal, people will do this, people will do that. You just need to get started. You can correct yourself later on, and you can get over to different dashboards at a later point, but you just need to get started. And the best way to get started is this way, because this is available now. So this is now done. I created these little buttons, and I'll just leave it at that. I will not change anything else. We can continue on the next section. The next block has a container inside, which is sized to be the same size as the video. So let's just do this. Okay, wireframes empty. I will take the empty container over here, pull it below it. And then here, this container, I will want to size according to the video. So the video was 66.66, if you remember, and then I sized my container accordingly. So after I did this, I can actually pull in the title and the paragraph element, which will be representing and explaining a little bit of what we are doing, which is this part over here, introduction, and then lorem ipsum, da da da. So let's just type in here introduction. If we make it a bit bigger, 1.5, we can add a color. And then this lorem ipsum, we can just leave it as it is, just make it a little bit smaller like that. And what I did on that example that I created, I just put it to normal. So the letter height, line height, sorry, to normal. And this gives it a bit of separation between the lines, and it looks a bit better, in my opinion. Then over here, I just chose some sort of a nice grayish color, something like this. 7F, 7F, 7F. Perfect. And that's basically it for this part. Now, what we actually want to achieve is this container to be white, the background to be white. So we set it up to be white, but the background of everything else over here, so we click on the block. I want this one to be grayish. So this very, very bright gray, I will set up the background of the previous two blocks. So it looks like it's one big section of the page, but only this container over here where we put the introduction will stay white, as you can see here. Nice. So this is what we wanted to achieve. Now we need to add some spacing on the top and then the sides so that it looks better. So we can add the spacing on like this. So we click on this section, we choose the container, add spacing on top like that. Actually, we can do it both top and bottom at the same time. 1.5 is nice, I believe. And then we can close this. We can choose the left and right padding and we can add 2.5. I believe this looks great. After we did this, we need to add on more columns because this is now our container, but I want to add on columns so that they represent this section over here. Okay, I'll have a look at the comments and the questions later on. I just want to get done with this one because this can be done pretty quickly, and we can actually create something awesome, very nice, very quickly. And I just wanted to share this with you because it is possible. And people who say that, oh my god, I cannot do anything now, that's just not quite true. So there we go. What I did is now actually I didn't need to do that on here, but I need to add on one column inside this container just below the introduction, as you can see here. And then this container, as you can see, it's not touching the ends of the layout one, and this is because the layout one has some padding in here. So we'll just take off this padding, we don't need it. And now this container is the same size as the video and as my text over here. So this is something I wanted to have, and we can start populating it. So what I want to do is I want to have this first module starting out. Okay, so we can do this. However, I believe this one is 2 columns, so let's just remove it. Sorry about that. So this is 2 column, not 1 column. Here we go. So I can click on the layout 2 by 2 and remove this padding, which I did with the previous one as well, because we don't need this padding on the sides. And then over here, we'll bring in a title and the paragraph element. There we go. I don't need all this text, so I'll just delete part of it. There we go. And then over here, I want to center this and then make it right aligned. This is centering it in the middle and making it right aligned. So then we can put in our button, and the button is the icon button. So button with icon. There we go. We'll click on it, and I believe it says start this module. You can add on an arrow. You can just choose a different one. Do this. Okay. I want the arrow to be on the right hand side. Update. Great. Now in the design, I want the text of the button to be this red that we created everything with, and the background to not be visible, like that. Perfect. I'm happy with it. And now this is our button over here. The title will be saying first module. First module, and then we can make it light. We can make it smaller. We don't need it so big. And then this part will be the actual bolded part. It says starting out. Okay. I can make it bigger. And this one I want to make bold. I believe I have 3 dots here. And now with this being created, I want to have this container also aligned to the middle. Oops, not this way. At this container, I want to have aligned to the middle, vertically, but on the left. Okay. And why it is on the top? Let's just let's just remove it and then set this up first as a middle, and then here, and then do it again. Oh, come on. Okay. Great. I believe now it's looking good. First module. Here, if this was the size, I want it light, and this one was saying starting out. Bold. Oh, bigger. Let's leave it at 1.5. Good. Now it's aligned. I don't know why it wasn't before, but there we go. So when we have this, we can choose the layout 2x2 and move it a bit lower on the page. There we go. And then if you want, you can separate these sections by having borders on top and bottom. Actually, just the top. Just the top, 2 pixels, and I will just choose this light gray color to be this way. Okay, so now we have these sections created. Whenever we duplicate it, they will bring over the border with it as well. So this is a time when you actually want to go in and then modify it so that it is mobile responsive. This is the time where you can do that, because as you can see, it would be looking strangely on smaller devices, but I will not be doing that. I believe we can do that at a later point as well, but this is now the time before you go and duplicate different sections. I just want to finish this build very quickly, but so I will not go into the mobile responsiveness. So what we have created now is something that we can duplicate, and we can just pull it up so that it is not so aligned, not so spaced out. And actually, do we have some spacing on there? Yeah, actually, I don't want to bring it up or down because we have a nice spacing on there. So I'll just leave it where it is. There we go. I will leave 3 of these. And now I can take the whole section, the whole block, and I can duplicate the whole block. The only thing I have to do here is just add on some padding on the top. Like that. And then you create one of them to be introduction, then you create the other one to be a different part of your membership, and so on. So let's just do these 3. Okay, 1, 2. Let's duplicate it one more time. So this will be introduction. This will be starting, or actually diving in, and then getting professional. Something like that. And then you can have first module, second module, third module. You can just name them out. Oops. And so on. You give it different names. What's the module name? For example, second module will be I don't know, introduction to live building. And so on. Yeah, what I did on this over here is I added a hover color. As you can see in the background, I added a hover color on this section here, so we can have this created as well on this part. Come on, we can add on a hover color of the background to be, I don't know, this pinkish. So when you actually hover over it, then it gives you this hover color. What some people may be asking, why is the line not full width, and this is because we created this padding. So in case you want, you can take off the padding like that, and then go into each and every one of these and add on padding over here, 2.5, and you can duplicate these parts. Then the line will be full width, 2.5, and so on. As you can see now, the line is full width, and if you now put in the hover color as a background, it will be lighting up the whole section, as you can see here. Yeah, there's different ways you can do it. If you want, you create one and then you duplicate the rest, it will be looking exactly the same. So let's just finish with the first section. It was 2.5. Okay, spacing left and right 2.5. There we go. So now we can also add on the hover color on these one, just for having it a bit more dynamic, that it looks like something that people have chosen, or it looks a bit more dynamic. It looks a bit more special. Okay, so there, and then this actual bottom spacing I want to remove. I don't need it, because if we would have it, then when we hover over it, it leaves a white space below it, so it actually doesn't look good. So it looks better this way. Good. So let's just save this page and let's continue on the next block, which is a footer block. So I created a very simple footer just by having a piece of text on it, but we already have pre-made blocks that do this. So if you go to wireframes, footers, and here you go, one of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th block over here is the footer block with just a piece of text in the middle of it, and then you can type in the year. This YYY stands for the year. And over here, you can just put in your company name or something. Smaller, like that, some grayish color. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, great. So now the first page is done. So what you can do now is, let's just finish with the logo. I'll just put in my logo in here. Let's see if this is the one. Yeah, let's use this. Okay, it's a bit too big. Yeah, let's leave it like that. And then this home, the navigation text, actually I want to have it a bit smaller, like that. And I want to have them black. Great. We'll publish it on member page. Great. The first page I want to call dashboard, because this is how membership platforms do it. They call the place where all the content is, and on the same place they call this dashboard. So I believe this could be a good name to be shown over here. Maybe just make it a bit smaller. I don't know why it jumps to this blue color. So dashboard. So we created the main page, which is our dashboard. You can edit the text, edit the video, of course, and you can do all kinds of things, but it looks like that. Let's go over and create the resources page, which looks like this. This has the same heading, this content block, and it has actually parts of the page which we created on the dashboard. I actually forgot to put in the image on here, so let's just place an image in the background. So you can choose any image. I loaded in one that I had people working with a computer, which is probably missed it with this one, but let's just try to put in this. Oh, this is a vertical image, so let's just run with the same image. Okay, so now I have the image. I'll place it in the middle and make it a bit more visible, like that. This way is good. Okay, so I can save now my navigation bar. I will save it to the navigation bar category. Okay, so I clicked outside to choose the block, and I can save the block. Now I want to save this part over here. I want to save it. Let's just save it on a titles, for example. You can save blocks, or you can just clone the whole page. I want to show you both. So in case you go the route to save the blocks and then have the blocks to create custom pages using them, you can do that. And I'll also save my footer. I'll just put it in the footers. Here we go. And if you want, you can also save one of these content blocks to go to the content category. Great. So now if you start a new page, you can start it from scratch and then pull in all these blocks, which I will do with the module page. But in this case, I want to just come over here and clone this page. Okay, we are creating the resources page, so we can just type in here, access your downloads below. Sources. Okay, it says dashboard copy. We'll change this one in a moment, but we don't need the video, so we'll delete the whole block. We don't need these menu items over here. Okay, what we do have here is the container with the title and the paragraph, and then we have these buttons and titles. So this first one I will leave, the rest I can just delete. Like that. So actually recycle all the things that you created, so you don't have to recreate it again and again. This is why these types of things, these types of pages can be created very easily, very fast. So I have the block chosen, and the reason is I want to put in a little bit of spacing between the upper red part and then the white container. I chose the block, and using the padding, I will move it down a little bit, like that. As you can see, the background color got changed, so let's just put it back. Now we can see that it has moved down, and we have this white part. So in the text, I will just center align it. There we go. And then over here, I want to pull in a 3-column layout because I want to have my download buttons in 3 columns. You can put 4 or 5 columns, but I believe it would look a lot more crowded that way. So the first thing I want to do is click in each of these and then set them up centered. Okay, so I click in the container and set it up center here, and then over here as well, container center. This is for when we're pulling in the content. For example, I want to pull in this heading and I want to pull in a button. It immediately comes to the right place where I actually want it to be. When you put it in, you can see that it didn't align on top of each other. So let's just select the container again, and now we can select the vertical, and this is where the vertical comes in. As you can see, we now tell it to be that I want it to be vertically, and this is why there are horizontal and vertical buttons where you can actually set it up exactly how you want it. So over here, I'll just type in step-by-step guide. And this is where you name your resources that you want to give your users to download. Like that, and let's just resize it a bit smaller, like that, and I want it to be hairline. Great. Okay, now the button, I want the button to say download. Download, and let's just have what kind of icon do I have? This circle. Just have this other circle. Perfect. And I want the icon to be on the right hand side. Perfect. Good. And now I will scroll up, go to the design section, and I find it easier to actually set up my icons and buttons and links and everything using these than with these icon sizes. So if I go to text, I can just resize how I want it. I will put in this color that I was using previously, or actually we can do it this way. So the text to be white and the background to be this pinkish. Move it a little bit lower, and there we go. So step-by-step guide, we have the button already here, and it is done. Now we just need to click on the button, configure, and link in the documents that we want them to download, which is done over here. Very simple. You can go to a URL or a pop-up or something like that. I just suggest putting in a URL of a Google Doc or a Google Drive file that you want to give them, or a Dropbox file or something like that. So now that we have this created, we can just duplicate this, pull it here, duplicate this, pull it here. Now as you remember, we didn't set up the containers to be vertically aligned, so we will do this one now. And let's just duplicate it one more time over here. Oops, it didn't go through. Come on. There we go. And then the button as well. We duplicate it, pull it over. There we go. Now that we created this one, we can now take the whole layout 3x3, which is this section that is holding all the three buttons. We can pull it a little bit down first, then we can resize it. We don't have to have it so big if you want. I'll just leave it as it is, but actually let's just resize it. If I'm mentioning already something, then I will show it. So you resize it like this. The first thing I did is actually went to the parent container and placed everything in the middle so that I can resize it, and the container that is holding these three buttons will stay also in the middle. And then once you are happy with what you can see on here, then you can just duplicate it one time. If you want, you can move it a little bit up so that it is not so separated. You can duplicate it another time. What I like to offer when I'm doing resources pages to download all files. Then this button can be a different color. Maybe this bright green. Maybe we can do this as a bold text. There we go. So this is our resources page that we recycled, that we recreated. Let's just change this background color to white. This one as well to white, and the text a little bit smaller. 125. Perfect. Publish. We need to change dashboard copy to be resources. Okay, so let's just do that one now. Let's just come over here to edit settings, and I want it to say resources here as well. Resources. So now we have a dashboard and resources, and this is what we actually want in our header, and the rest, it is looking good. So the next page is the actual content page. That is the most important. These are just like resources page is a side page, the dashboard page is a side page. But in case you're actually having a membership that is tied to an email sequence, so if somebody purchases something from you and you start sending them the emails, like day 1 you send them the module 1, day 2 you send them the module 2, for example. You can also do like this way, it's like a dripped content. You can also send them all the links at the same time, which I don't suggest, because people, when they're learning, when they're doing some type of course, they like to learn step by step. And by delaying that, in case you give them one video per day or one module per day or one section per day, they can go through it in a day, they can start working on it, and this way you give them more options to actually finish. You give them better chance to finish the actual course or the membership that you have. In case you're providing them the content, you actually want them to consume this content. In case you give them a dashboard immediately like this one, it could overwhelm them. So in case you actually do the way that Brandon Bouchard did, is by sending them a module, one module by module, and then at the end you can give them the dashboard, like, here you go, this is where you have all the course together. So that's one option. So let's just create this module page from scratch. I will not duplicate it. I said I will show you how to actually use the blocks that we saved previously. So now we created an empty page. I will rename it immediately by module 1. Okay, so the page URL, this is the most important thing. In case you're doing the membership that way, that you're sending out in an email one module per day or one module in an email, then another, then I do suggest you to randomize your URL. And this means that you will create the jumbled up mess of a URL link. You will not say domain.com/course/module1, because then people will think, okay, if this is module 1, then I can just type in module 2 and then go on to the next page, and they can actually skip through your whole membership without actually you giving them access. To get over this, there are string, here you go, random.org string generators. Okay, you can generate different strings of letters, text, characters. I will share this one with you guys over here in the YouTube community and also in the Facebook. I'll just pop this link in there. This way it will be random. People will be thinking that this is something that is system generated. So it says here, part 1, the strings: generate 10 random strings, maximum 10,000. Each string should be 10 characters long. Okay, so you can choose numeric digits, uppercase letters, lowercase letters. So I do suggest you to use numbers and lowercase letters. Each string should be unique, like raffle tickets. Okay, so get strings, you create them, and then you can use these ones. If you want, you can put in more, 25, or let's just do 35 characters. Okay, get strings. Okay, maximum 20, sorry, let's just do 20. Get strings, and here you go. So if you copy this one and use this as your URL, there is absolutely no way in the world somebody can guess this one. Like, look at this. And this way you secure yourself. So in case you send out a link in an email with this jumbled mess of a code, nobody will be able to guess what's the next page. So this way you secure yourself a little bit. People will think that this is system generated. They will not think of sharing it out, and people will not be able to guess the next page. So these are the two benefits of using URLs like this. Great, so now we have the module 1 page created. Let's just build it out. So you remember I saved the blocks, and the blocks are saved now in the design blocks. So let's just go into the navigation bar and let's pull in the navigation bar that I had created. There we go. So this is my logo, and it immediately pulls in the dashboard, the resources, and the module 1. And we don't actually want the module 1 to be showing up in the navigation bar, so we can just hide it. So you click over these, the six pack, as I call it, here on this 6 dots. You click and you drag it down to hidden pages. So now it is hidden from the navigation. Okay, that is a trick to not give access to your modules in the navigation bar. So now that we have that sorted, we can go on to the next page, which would be the title. So we can just click on this titles that we saved, and we modify it a little bit. So if that would be me, I would just type in module 1 over here, and then you can explain your modules like getting started or building out or presenting something. You probably know how to represent the module 1 which you're talking about in your course, in your membership. So this would be coming over here. I'll just leave lorem ipsum text just to make it a bit faster, and let's just see how it actually looks like on my side. I believe there is this white container with video. Yeah, so there is a title, description, and then videos over here. An add-on you can also do is having buttons like this to go to next module, to go back to dashboard. But this is not suggested in case you're doing this drip campaign. This is suggested in case you actually finish with the course, you send them out the full course, and then you want to give them the access to a dashboard where they can go to next module and rewatch the videos. So this is something that I don't suggest you put in case you are new with a course, in case you are just launching the course or the membership. But after you actually dripped out the content with an email or through an email sequence or something, then adding on these makes a lot of sense. Good. So we finished this one. Let's just go on and create this content block. So if we go to content, you remember we saved this from the one when we were creating the dashboard. So that is out now. Perfect. I'll click the block over here and add some padding on the top so that we separate it from the pink part. And then again, I just want to center align this. Over here, this layout 2x2, I don't need anymore. I don't need this one as well. I don't need this. So I can delete that. But what I do want is to have a video, paragraph, and a button. So let's just add them on. Video. There we go. Video. Let's just resize it a little bit. Okay. 80%. That's fine. As you can see, it is not center aligned. So let's just choose this container. Go to layout and center align it this way. And we need to click the vertical and then center align it. You saw what happens if you don't click the vertical, then it puts it horizontally. We don't want that. So I'll click on the video and using the drag handle, just move it a little bit down. And then below that, I want to put in paragraph text, which is over here. Come on, here we go. And the button. So while we are still here, let's just put in a button. Nice. So yes, so this text I also want to center. I want to be a bit smaller, something like that. You can change your colors, you can change everything you want basically. I will leave it somehow this way. You probably want to decide your brand colors, so I'll just leave it at black just to keep it simple. And some padding. So let's just add on some padding so it doesn't look like it is touching the sides of the page, or you can use it, or you can use sizing as well. So in case you set up the sizing to be 40%, 50%, it is then making it smaller. It is not touching the sides of the actual container. You can go the other route as well to choose the whole container and add on padding on here. Then this way everything will be set up nice in a nicely aligned. So the next step is to just space it out a bit. The button will say, I don't know, download the resource, download the guide. just type in, choose the same arrow icon we have. I want it to be aligned to the right, so the icon alignment on the right. Perfect. We can change the background color to this Bordeaux. And the next step is just to move the button a little bit lower. Perfect. Now, when we scroll down, there is no way to see the gray part again from the page. So I just want to add on the block a little bit more of padding, so that there is a bit of gray spacing on here, as you can see. But now the button is actually touching the border of this white container. So I just want to add on some spacing as well here to REM, just so that we have it nicely aligned, as you can see that way. Now that we did this part, we can also add on another module or another video or another something by just duplicating the whole container. So you click on this white part, which is the container, and then we can just duplicate it. We just bring it down using the margins. Let's just do 2.5 REM spacing. And then in here, in case you want to have another video or a transcription, as I had it on my side over here, let's just do the transcription part. So you don't need the video on here. You don't need, let's just leave this actually. Let's delete the whole thing. I do have a paragraph text over here that I can use. I just put it here so that it is nicely aligned through the whole block, through the whole container. And then I can pull in heading 3, which will be used to say transcription. Change over the color. Make it a little bit bigger, 1.5 I believe was, yeah. And then over here, you just paste in your text that you get. So when you're doing these transcriptions, in case you're not using manual typing, in case you don't type in your manually what you are saying or talking about in the video, there's a trick that you can use to upload the video to YouTube and have YouTube create automatically the captions. This is almost perfect. It's sometimes like 90% on point. So you can just take that content, take that caption, take that transcription, and then paste it in your course. There are people that actually prefer reading things than watching videos. So having both options is giving them more flexibility. Then you can also get them to download a nicely styled transcription. This is something that a lot of podcasts do. So in case you're doing a membership using like a podcast page or something like that, you can have a same page like this. Instead of a video player, you just put in an audio player, and then you can have a transcription below that. So let's just do this. Again, I will select all the text. I will make it italic, and yeah, I'll just leave it like that. Maybe just change the font a little bit to gray. Yeah, it looks better this way. So yeah, you can say here, download the transcription. Update. Publish. So now that we have the module pages done as well, when you're adding new modules, it's very simple just to clone them. You can just clone them for the module 2, module 3, module 4. Let's just clone it over here. So this will not be module 1 anymore. This will be used for module 2. There we go. You change over your text, you change over your videos, you change over everything. And the last thing you need to do is actually change over the string, the URL string that we used, and the name of the page. So instead of module 1, you'll name it module 2. And instead of this page URL string, you use a different one. Okay. So and we can just publish it. So now, what I would do if I would be you, if you create a membership, you create your module, you put it in an email sequence, you send it out. You wait a day, 2 days, then you send out the module 2. You send out the content number 2 using this link. You just link this into your email so people have access to it, and then again and again and again. Once basically you send out all the pages in an email, you can create a dashboard. You can send them out the dashboard page, which would be looking like this, so that they can navigate through all the content that they've gotten and one hub. Okay, and this is why dashboards are used for. So it's actually pretty simple. You click on this button, you go to configure, and then link to a page. Let's just say module 1. Okay, and then update. If you want, you can also open it in a new tab. It could help your users not leave this dashboard page again and again in case they want to come back. So in the background of the button appeared, so I'll just remove it again over here, and that's basically it. Let's just link in this other one. I want it to go to a page module 2, but open in a new tab. There we go. And we'll just need to, I don't know why this background styling is appearing again, but we can just remove it. It's not a big deal. Great. So that is done. Let's just test out how our site looks like. I didn't want to do that, but that's fine. Okay. So I actually need to remove the color from here, and that's basically it. So we have introduction. Maybe we want to actually make this a bit bigger, that it represents like a description of this part. We have put the hover effect. We have the buttons. When people click the button, they get this string in a URL which they cannot guess to see the module 1. Once they are finished with the module 1, we probably need to allow them to go to the next step from here, and this is only when you actually finished and send them out all the videos, all the content. So let's just build here 2 buttons which will say dashboard module 1. Okay, so let's just do this. Let's go into module 1, and on here I want to add a block, an empty block that has 2 containers like that. The containers I will align just in the middle, and then left, this one I will align in the middle and right. And if you choose the layout 2x2, you can see that there's a little bit of spacing on the sides that I don't want, so I can just remove that. Perfect. And now this block is too big because I want it to be aligned towards this size, so that the 2 containers are not so wide, but to have it a little bit inside, like smushed together, if I could say. The first thing I need to do is choose the container that is holding these 2 columns. As you can see here, block, then container. I can just center it vertically like that. And then now when I go and resize it, it will be resizing nicely. So 66, I can leave it this way, just a little bit bigger than my white box over here. Good. So the next step is to make the block background the same background as over here. And then I can put in the text links. You can do normal buttons as well, but I believe text links would look nicer. And here I can also give you another trick, another resource which I use often is text symbols. You can type in text symbols, and I use this cool symbol site. I will copy it over for you as well. I use this to actually copy over icons. These will be acting as like you have a lot of pretty cool icons you can use, and this is basically text. So what I use is these punctuations and symbols, and these like a V, like a V, but it's on the sideways. So this is pointing towards left. So I can do this. You click on the text link and you select all, you paste it, and then you say dashboard. Okay? And you link it actually to the page that is called dashboard. Okay, there we go. You can now design it as you want, bigger, smaller. I'll just use 1.125. Okay, and let's just do text color here. You can also do hover text color. That's just something up to your creativity. There we go. So now when you hover over it, then it turns this Bordeaux color. For simplicity, I'll just duplicate it, bring it over here, and I'll just say module 2, and then copy over the symbol is for this side, and just paste it in. And to open a new tab, I just want to click update. There we go. So now we just need to set up the hover color because that is not copied. Oh, oops, this is the background. That's the wrong place. I wanted the text hover color this way. So now this is set up and we can publish it. We just probably want to make the white container a bit closer, or the block a little bit closer. So we can do this, or even this. So now we have everything nicely aligned. Let's just publish it. And let's see how it looks. I believe it looks great. Yeah, we need to just change the color of this header, but even this way it's looking okay. Good. So this is now our dashboard. Let's just refresh it just to have a look. This is now our dashboard. As I mentioned, this you send out to your customer once you finish sending out the page by page. And it looks like this. If somebody comes and clicks the module, they go to the module 1, and we should have here here we go. So this is the module 1, and they can now read through all the content. They can watch the videos that you offered them, and if they want to go back to the dashboard, they click over here. Okay, in case they want to go to the next module, they just click over here. Simple. So I didn't set this up. I just duplicated it and it came back to the dashboard, but you can just set up the link, this module 2, to go to not the dashboard, but the page module 2. And there we go. Simple, simple. So approximately this is what I wanted to share with you. These are 3 pages: module pages, or the content pages, the dashboard page, and the resource page. Most of the times, like memberships without an actual membership platform, with these 3 pages can run and be very, very successful, as a lot of big names in the industry are doing it. So this is not the only design that you could use. I will show you here one page that I've seen. It is also not a membership platform, but it was created using content locking, and this is a WordPress site. It was done using content locking. As you can see, this is just a normal page, which was created as a membership page for building out a van for living in it. It's like a it's a van where you actually have a kitchen and a bed and things like this. So this is how it was created, as you can see, and this is a content page of this company. Wonderful. We don't have these scrollable sections yet, so this is something I'm waiting for. I'm looking forward to it. But you can see how easy it is to actually create it. You can watch the video, and then on WordPress, of course, they have add-ons where you can install. It's like content locking. You need to actually sign up to see the rest of the process. But in case you're selling the membership in advance before giving access to the page, then you don't need this content locking. So there you go. This is something that you can do as well, something like this. There are different designs that you can implement and model from, but one of the simplest ones that I could think, and we created it in an hour while I was explaining everything. This looks good. So I will share this out with you. This has not been made mobile responsive. I believe I could do another video on how to actually make it fully mobile responsive. It doesn't look bad on mobile devices. Maybe we just need to add on this to be black so that we can see the menu. It would require a little bit of modifications, as you can see here, but nothing too much. A little bit of changing the height and then the paddings over here. So it's not a huge challenge, but I believe we could do another video on that one just to make it more mobile responsive, like here, as you see. This would look better if it is everything is centered and so on. So that is it for now. Let me just share this out with you. This has been an interesting build. I just came up with this one half an hour ago before I started this live stream. So something like this you can do yourself as well. So let me just look into the questions. I will probably be wrapping up the video. I wanted to teach you how to create a membership site without a membership platform, and this is what we just did today. So let's see. The trick with the dashboard and next module buttons can be used only if all your members start all on the same day, which is quite impossible. It's not quite impossible. This is something that you have a launch for. You have a launch, and then after the launch, you close the actual access, so you cannot sell anything. You cannot sell access to it anymore, and this is explained in the product launch formula, that this actual fear of missing out increases sales. So when you close, when you don't allow people to purchase it anymore, it increases the sales. It is a reverse psychology. You wouldn't think about that, but it actually works. So Andre, I understand your concerns, but it has been scientifically proven that it is increasing sales when you do a launch and then close your cart after that. He mentioned earlier that the dashboard will be only released once the member have completed all the modules. You can go that way as well. You don't have to, but this is something I suggest you to do with this kind of setup. Hi, can you please tell me how to make a LearnDash membership site? No, because I never used LearnDash. This is something that is not connected with Groove, and you will probably need to look into other resources to learn that. Yes, and this is the same problem if not all the members start at the same time. Yeah, Andre, that was the answer I just gave you earlier. Good. Will you be able to make a login for it? For this one, Eric, no, this is an open membership, but this is a different way of actually providing the content you want than in a membership with a login, with a password, with things like that. I built a membership site, but got an, okay, so this is in GrooveMember. Yes, there is an update coming for it. I think it's the reason why David is showing how to build a membership space using GroovePages as a GrooveMember, but as before, how to make this. Okay, I explained this a couple of more times. Let's see. Hi, David. The registration links to my membership site. Yes, I am aware of that. Thank you very much. This is a bug. This is getting a fix soon. So are you showing us this for now, but we'll use GrooveMember later? In case you want, Dana, you can start with this immediately. Like, there is no need to wait at all. People are saying, oh, I cannot start anything because this is not finished and this has a bug and that has, actually there are ways to do anything, and this is something that big names like Brandon Bouchard. There are probably others as well. I just know specifically that he had his own program and he was selling millions using this technique by using strings of random letters and numbers in the URL. People were not able to find out that this is not something that is system generated, but they were thinking like, oh my god, this is a membership platform and things like this, so that they were not sharing it out. Even if they were sharing it out, Brandon can just, or you can just easily change this string of characters and update it in the dashboard, send out an updated email with a new link to it, and that's basically it. Another big thing is to actually make your site where you're actually putting in the membership platform like this non-indexed, and this means to hide it from Google. So you don't want Google to find your site where you're actually providing the content. And here in the tutorial videos on the Facebook group, I have a video how to create a non-indexed page. Let me just show you where that is. I believe this one. Do you want to hide your page to not be found by search engines? Here's the code you need to copy and paste into the head section. So in case you just take this one, take this code, and you paste it in the site's head section, or the each and every page separately, your page will be hidden from the search engine, so they cannot find it when they are crawling to your website, when they're crawling to your pages. They will not be putting it up so that it is found on Google. So this is a good thing to have. So in case you're looking for it, it is in the tutorial section. Do you want to hide your page to not be found by search engines? There is an explanation of how to do it. There's a video I did, and there is the code you need to copy and put it in the head section, either on your pages. So you go in here, edit settings, and then in the head section of the pages, or on your site. So that is basically it. So thanks for answering my questions. No problem at all, Raymond. Is the same thing as GrooveMember? No. Which one is preferable and how it is different? I'm sorry if my question is a repetition. No problem. So GrooveMember is a platform for membership that people need to log in. They need to actually register and log in, and then they have dynamic platform, which is you create the pages, and in case you change something, the links change and things like this. This is more of a manual process, and this works because there is no complications with, again, a different platform. If you learn how to build websites, in case you learn how to build pages inside this platform, which is called GroovePages, or actually any other website builder in the world, you can create your membership site this way and have it successful, because you create your own strings for a URL so that people cannot guess it. Would you ever be able to guess this line of string, that this is going to the module number 4, for example? And even if you share this, it looks like something that was generated by a computer, and it cannot be so easily accessed. People will not share it if they see something like that, because they think that this is unique and created by the computer. So that's one of the benefits. And the other benefits is that you don't have to wait. You don't have to pay extra for anything. Even if you have an email system, which now you have GrooveMail, or if you have MailChimp or anything like that, and if you have a page builder system, which you have, even with a free account in GroovePages, you have options to create all of this. Like, there is no limits. Everything that I showed you today can be created on premium or a paid version of GroovePages, or a free version of GroovePages. I just want to say one more thing. Yeah, let me just answer the questions over here. Yeah, so the question, which one is preferable, this is up to you. If you actually want to lock the content behind the registration and not go this manual way, not go dripping out the content through an email, but to do it through an actual membership that handles all that, that is up to you. This is a system that works now in case you actually want to launch something, in case you want to get started. This works, and it works good. What I did want to mention also is we have templates that you could use. You need to modify it, of course, but that could work for a system like this. And if you're a paid member, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, there is a single course template that is very similar to what we created today. It serves a different purpose now as a template, okay, because it is serving a purpose of selling the course. But have a look at these ones. Like, it is already pre-created for you, so you don't have to come up with your designs from your head or things like this. You can just take these, save these blocks and save these sections, and you can just create your modules, module pages, create your dashboard pages, create your resources pages from the templates. Like, can you see the difference here and the difference over here? Mine is more custom, mine is more speedy build, as you see, but it is still looking good. But in case you want to have more professional and not do all this, you can go the route of having these. And like, it is already created for you. You just need to put it in a context so that it is making sense for the end user. So yeah, there are templates that you could use, modify them, and build these even faster than I did, but I just did it to show you how it is possible to do it as well. So when I want to find this builder later, what is the title? When I want to find this build later, what is the title? The title of this video is shown on Facebook and YouTube, and also here, how to create a membership site using GroovePages. And yeah, it's pretty simple. I shared out some links. I shared out the page that we created together. So I believe you can create it yourself as well, very easily. And I do suggest not to wait, as we talked in the 12-hour Groovathon on Saturday. There is no time to waste. There is no place for waiting. If you have something, you want to launch it, there is a way to launch it, and you just need to do it. That's basically it. So with that said, thank you very much for watching. Please make sure you come tonight for this reveal. There is an announcement that was posted in the Facebook group. It is announcing that we are having, where is it? We are having something revealed that we were working on. It was a secret project that was worked on away from the public eye. So make sure you come. This will be inside the Facebook group and on YouTube. It will be live streamed the same way as you are watching this video now. So in case you didn't plan it, in case you didn't know about it, make sure you click on this get a reminder, and then you join us on this reveal. This is September 28th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're there, and then hopefully see you there. See you guys. Bye-bye.